Hi there, my name is David Peterson. I am a real estate agent in Southwest Florida. So tonight I want to talk about something of a moral quandary, an ethical consideration, or perhaps just courtesy. That's something that happened in my last video. So in my last video, my family and I went out to the Cape Coral boat show and art show. And as we're out there, in part to stave off my children's boredom, I said, hey, you can go ahead and take some video footage for me that I actually used in my last video. But one of the pictures that my daughter took was of a woman. And this woman was looking at her in a very hilarious way, like, what are you doing? Now, it wasn't a very flattering picture of the woman. She looked very confused why this little girl was taking a picture of her. Now, I'm sure my daughter didn't mean anything malicious by this. And by the time I saw the picture, the woman was gone. So I had no way to ask her if it was okay if I used her picture in my video. Now, as you know me, you know I do a lot of videos in public places. And generally, I don't record people unless I'm going to ask them directly. But I will record places and things, and if those people just happen to be in the way, I'm not really recording them. And since we are in a public place, there's really no expectation of privacy. But, you know, we live in a world where everybody has a smartphone now, and everybody can take a picture at any time, take a picture or take a video. And those videos and pictures aren't always going to be your most flattering angle or, you know, your most flattering view. And some of these pictures and videos can be extremely embarrassing. And so I came across this picture, and honestly, it was hilarious. It just made me laugh. The woman was giving my daughter this extremely disconcerted look, and who is this little girl? A very funny look on her face. I really wanted to put that in my last video. And I was even going to make that whole video the thumbnail and make the whole video about this one woman and her face, what the face she made. And since I never got a chance to ask her that, I thought to myself, well, I even made the whole video and I even uploaded it to YouTube and I left it on unpublished. Because after a while, I was talking to my wife about this and she's like, oh, I don't like that part. And well, I said, well, it's going to be really funny. I think that this is going to go viral because it's this really funny face, somewhat attractive woman, and, you know, it's the type of thumbnail that would get a lot of clicks on it. And so after a while, I thought about it a little bit more, and I thought, well, even though this is a video that's in a public place, if it were me and I was making a not so, you know, let's say I was picking my nose in public or something that isn't shameful, but is also embarrassing. You know, it's not my best look. You know what I mean? So I was wondering if I should actually include this video in the video and include it as a thumbnail. And so what I thought was, first of all, is this a moral consideration? Is it something that if I did that it would be immoral? Or in other words, what would you think of as wrong? Is this wrong to do? Well, it's certainly not illegal. In a public place, I think there is no reasonable expectation of privacy. People can record you in a public place. So really, is it wrong? Well, I didn't really think it was wrong. So I said, well, what about ethics? Like a professional ethics committee. So if you are one of our politicians in Washington, you happen to know all of the stocks are going to go up or down based on what the U.S. is going to do. So, for example, just before they implemented all the lockdowns, several key politicians invested in companies like Zoom and different software companies that make telehealth and remote video conferencing possible. And then they implemented the lockdowns and they made millions. Now, this is what I would consider not necessarily morally wrong because they're not hurting anybody, but something that's ethically wrong in that you are doing something that you are given an unfair advantage over someone else. So I wouldn't consider like what I was doing there as, so would this be something ethically wrong? Recording somebody without their knowledge, without their consent, in a public place and publishing it, even if it's not flattering. Well, I think there could be a time and place for that. For example, police officers. I do think that police officers should have no expectations of privacy whatsoever. When they're performing their duties, we need to keep people who have power accountable and make sure that that they're not going to do something that could be endangering to themselves or other. And I say that with the greatest admiration for most police officers. Most of them are just trying to keep us safe. But when they're performing their duties, I think that that is a perfectly acceptable place. I also think if people are acting a fool, if they are doing something shameful in a public place, I think it's okay to whip out that video camera and go ahead and record the behavior so that we can shame behavior that is not wanted in our society, or bad behavior, basically. Two people get in a fight or something like that. It might even be evidence in a court of law. So in that case, yeah, I think recording is fine. But overall, is it something I consider unethical? And the way I describe that, probably not unethical. So it's not, in my mind, immoral, and it's not something unethical. So I guess the next question would be, would it be something that is just courteous or discourteous, where it's not the golden rule. The golden rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And would I want someone taking a picture of me in a public place that may or may not have me in the most flattering position? In this case, I would think that woman would probably get a kick out of it. But I have no idea. Perhaps she would be mortified. And since I don't know, I decided that it would be something that is not something I'd want to do. So unfortunately, I don't think that video is going to get as much views as it would have otherwise gotten. Just because, using somebody and in a way that doesn't look good upon them, even though they're not doing anything wrong, I find that to be just not courteous. And so I try to live a courteous life. So again, while you'll see me record a lot of people back and forth as I do these, man on the street type videos, I'm not really going to, video record someone clandestinely and try and take advantage of that situation. So I am curious what you guys think. If you think that recording somebody in public is absolutely fine, and we live in an era of smartphones, and every single moment of every person's life needs to be captured and recorded and put on blast and scrutinized by the entire world. Or if you think it's okay to say, there are situations where you just don't want to publish people, and maybe that's just a matter of courtesy. Just ask somebody if they'd like to be recorded. So I'd love to know what you guys think. If you think I'm making a big deal out of nothing, I would love to know that. Maybe I will at some point publish the picture of this person, and then they can reach out to me and tell me how much they love it or they hate it. I don't know how viral that would go. Or maybe you say, nah, man, you did the right thing. We don't want to live in a society where everybody's just constantly on blast. So I'd love to know what you guys think. Thanks for listening to my story. Have a great week. And if you are interested in real estate in Southwest Florida, please reach out to me. I've got my website link in the description, and my contact information is on my website, so you can reach out to me. Look forward to talking to you and doing deals in Southwest Florida. Again, that is from Punta Gorda all the way to Marco Island. If it's somewhere else, reach out to me and I can connect you with a trusted agent in your area. I've done deals with people all over the country. My last deal was in Wyoming. I don't live in Wyoming, but I connected a family member with someone in Wyoming so that they could get their property sold, because that's what I do. I buy and sell properties. I help people make that dream a reality. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Take care and have a great night.